Chosen one, have you ever felt like you were being watched? If you're seeing this, it's because you're already on their radar. The elite knows who you are, and they've been tracking you for a reason. Have you ever felt like your life has been under a microscope? Like someone, somewhere, is watching your every move? Maybe it's an eerie sense that doesn't seem to go away. Let me tell you, you're not imagining things. That feeling is real, and there's a reason for it. You are a chosen one. You carry something powerful within you, something they fear and want to suppress at all costs. For generations, powerful groups have tracked people like you. They've studied sacred texts, analyzed energy patterns, and monitored awakened individuals. Why? Because they know what you're capable of. They've always known. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover why the elite has been tracking you. We'll expose the secret knowledge they've kept hidden about chosen ones and reveal the warning signs that you're being observed. Most importantly, we'll equip you with ways to protect yourself and show you what happens when you finally step into the fullness of your divine power. Stay with me, because this is information they don't want you to know. If this message resonates with you, like and comment 77 below to confirm what your spirit already knows. By the end of this video, you'll see why they fear you and why they've already lost. Let's begin. Why powerful groups track spiritually awakened people. From the moment you were born, there was something about you that set you apart. Perhaps you felt it your entire life. A sense of being different, of not quite fitting into the mold the world tried to force you into. It may have been subtle at first, a quiet inner knowing that your path would not look like anyone else's, or perhaps it was something more obvious, like the way people responded to your energy without even understanding why. That energy is not random. It is not by accident. It is spiritual, divine, and connected to a higher purpose. As a chosen one, you carry a unique frequency, a light that shines brighter than the world around you. But here's what you need to understand. While this light is your greatest gift, it is also what makes you a target. What you might not realize is that this energy, this connection to divine purpose, has not gone unnoticed. From the moment you came into this world, there have been forces operating behind the scenes that have been aware of you. They've studied people like you for generations, trying to understand and ultimately control the kind of power you carry. These groups, the elite, are not interested in your well-being. They are interested in maintaining control, and they know that individuals like you are the greatest threat to their systems. They've made it their mission to monitor and suppress anyone who carries a light of spiritual awakening because they fear what happens when people like you step into their full potential. Powerful groups have always sought to control humanity by keeping people small, divided, and disconnected from their true selves. Their systems thrive on ignorance and fear, and their greatest enemy is someone who sees through the illusions they've worked so hard to create. This is why they track spiritually awakened individuals. It's not just about physical surveillance, although that happens too. It's about energetic monitoring. They are aware of the vibrational frequency you carry, and they understand its potential to disrupt the structures they've spent centuries building. Your energy doesn't just impact you, it creates ripples. It inspires others to awaken, to question, and to break free from the chains of conformity and fear. This is why they see you as a threat. Think about it. Why else would systems of power throughout history go to such extreme lengths to suppress individuals who challenge the status quo? The biblical account of Herod ordering the massacre of male infants after hearing of Jesus' birth is a chilling example of this pattern. Herod didn't know Jesus personally. He didn't have first-hand knowledge of what Jesus would accomplish, but he understood the implications of someone walking in divine purpose. To Herod, the very idea of a chosen one rising to fulfill a destiny greater than the system he controlled was a threat. So he did what those in power have always done. He tried to eliminate the threat before it could grow. This isn't just a historical story. It's a spiritual pattern that has repeated itself throughout time. Those in power fear chosen ones because they recognize the potential for systems of oppression to crumble in the presence of awakened individuals. The elite today operates with the same fear, though their methods have evolved. They track you energetically, watching for signs that you are stepping into your power. They're not just interested in your actions. They're paying attention to your thoughts, your intentions, and the shifts in your spiritual growth. Have you ever noticed how the more aligned you become with your purpose, the more resistance you seem to encounter? That resistance is not a coincidence. It's a direct response to the fact that your energy is becoming more powerful, more disruptive to the systems that depend on you staying asleep. Your ability to see through illusions is one of the reasons they fear you. While most people are content to accept the narrative they've been given, you question it. You sense when something doesn't align with truth, even if you can't always put it into words. This ability to discern, to perceive beyond the surface, is a gift. But it's also why they monitor you so closely. They know that if you fully awaken, you won't just free yourself. You'll inspire others to do the same. And that's what they fear most. It's not just about you. It's about the collective awakening that your energy can ignite. Another reason they track chosen ones is your ability to break generational cycles. You weren't just born to live an ordinary life. You were born to break patterns of fear, trauma, and limitation that have been passed down through generations. You are the one who sees the chains for what they are, who has the courage to question why they're there, and the strength to break them. The elite thrives on these cycles because they keep people trapped in systems of control. But you have the power to end those cycles, not just for yourself, but for your family, your community, and even the world. This is why they watch you so closely. They know that your awakening doesn't just impact you. It creates a ripple effect that challenges their entire structure. What's even more profound is that the energy you carry isn't something you have to work for or earn. It's inherent to who you are. From the moment you came into this world, that light was already within you. This is why they've been aware of you for so long. They didn't wait for you to achieve something great. They saw the potential in you from the beginning, and they've been trying to suppress it ever since. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. No matter how much they try to control or monitor you, they cannot take away what is divinely yours. Your power, your purpose, and your connection to the Creator are beyond their reach. This journey, however, is not without its challenges. The awareness that you're being tracked can feel overwhelming at times. You might wonder why you face so many obstacles, why it feels like the world is working against you. But the resistance you encounter is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of your strength. They wouldn't be watching you if you weren't a threat to their system. The very fact that they track you means they recognize your potential, even if you don't fully see it yet. And that recognition should serve as a reminder of who you are. As you continue to awaken, you'll begin to notice the ways they try to distract and discourage you. They'll attempt to make you doubt yourself, to question your worth, to feel isolated and unsupported. But remember this: the systems they've created are built on fear, and fear cannot stand in the presence of truth. The more you align with your divine purpose, the less power their systems will have over you. Your energy, your light, is stronger than anything they can throw at you. This is why they track you, chosen one. It's not because you're insignificant. It's because you're powerful. It's because they know that when you fully awaken, their control over you ends. They fear the day when enough chosen ones step into their purpose, because that will be the day their systems of oppression collapse. And that day is coming. You are not alone in this journey. You are part of a greater movement, a collective awakening that is shaking the foundations of this world. Comet energy, if you feel this truth resonating within you, you were born for a purpose, and no amount of tracking or suppression can take that away from you. They may be watching, but their time is running out. You are awakening, and the light within you is unstoppable. The secret knowledge the elite possesses about chosen ones. The elite doesn't just track you because of who you are, they track you because of what they know about you. This isn't casual curiosity or paranoia on their part. It's deliberate and calculated. For centuries, they've dedicated themselves to uncovering truths that most people will never hear about. Truths about energy, divinity, and the profound spiritual power carried by chosen ones like you. They've studied sacred texts, pored over ancient artifacts, and explored spiritual mysteries in ways that few could imagine. But their intention has never been to empower you. It has been to control, suppress, and keep you disconnected from your true potential. They know what most people don't, that you are not ordinary. You are directly connected to the divine, and your purpose has the ability to shift entire systems of oppression, to dismantle the very structures they depend on for their power. If this sounds hard to believe, consider how often history and religion have been rewritten to keep certain truths hidden. Throughout ancient spiritual writings, there are consistent references to people who carry divine energy, those who are set apart. The Bible often refers to them as a peculiar people, 1 Peter 2 verse 9, chosen and set aside for a higher purpose. These individuals were never meant to blend in or follow the crowd. They were designed to be disruptors of darkness and carriers of light. But over time, the stories about these chosen ones have been manipulated, their significance diluted, and their truths buried under layers of misinterpretation. One example of this hidden knowledge is the Book of Enoch, an ancient text excluded from most versions of the Bible, but revered in early Christian and Jewish communities. This book doesn't just offer historical context. It reveals spiritual truths that resonate deeply with those on the path of awakening. It describes beings of immense power and wisdom, walking closely with the divine and acting as intermediaries between heaven and earth. It speaks of spiritual battles and the fall of dark forces that sought to corrupt humanity. While many dismiss texts like these as irrelevant or even dangerous, the elite takes them very seriously. They've studied them not to honor or uplift the wisdom within, but to weaponize it, to better understand the power of chosen ones so they can suppress it. The elite has also tapped into the study of energy and vibration, practices that science is only now beginning to acknowledge, but that ancient spiritual traditions understood deeply. Everything in the universe vibrates, and your frequency determines the energy you carry and attract. The elite knows this. They know that individuals who operate at higher frequencies, those connected to love, truth, and divine purpose, are disruptors to their systems, which thrive on fear, control, and division. Your energy as a chosen one is not just a passive force. It actively changes the environment around you. Have you ever noticed how your presence alone can shift the atmosphere? How you can bring peace to chaos, light to darkness, or inspiration to those who feel lost? That is the power of your vibrational frequency, and it's precisely why they monitor you so closely. One way they attempt to control this is through a practice known as energy mapping. This involves tracking the energetic patterns of individuals to understand how their frequencies fluctuate and what influences them. While this may sound like science fiction, it's rooted in ancient principles of energy and spiritual alignment. The elite knows that those who maintain high vibrations are harder to manipulate. They understand that your connection to the divine makes you resilient to the fear and confusion they use to keep the masses in line. This is why they work so hard to distract, discourage, and drain you, because they know that if you remain aligned with your purpose, their control over you dissolves. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Their knowledge of you only gives you more power. The more they study and monitor you, the more they reveal their own fear. They track you because they see your potential, even if you don't fully see it yet. They fear the ripple effect your awakening creates, the way your light inspires others to wake up and step into their own power. And here's the most important part. No matter how much they try to understand or control you, they cannot take from you what is divinely yours. Your energy, your purpose, and your connection to the Creator are beyond their reach. They might try to cloud your perception of these truths, but they cannot destroy them. The light within you is eternal, and it grows stronger every time you align with it. Throughout history, this secret knowledge about chosen ones has shaped the actions of those in power. Think about the Pharisees during Jesus' time. They weren't just religious leaders. They were gatekeepers of knowledge, using their influence to maintain control over the spiritual lives of the people. When Jesus began teaching truths that challenged their authority, they didn't just oppose him out of theological disagreement. They feared him because he represented a power they couldn't contain. His words awakened people to their divine potential, to the reality that they didn't need intermediaries to access God. This is the same fear the elite has of you. They know that once you awaken fully, their systems of control become irrelevant. This is your time, chosen one. The secret knowledge they possess about you is not a threat. It's a reminder of who you are. It's proof that you are part of a greater divine plan, one that cannot be derailed by fear or manipulation. You are connected to a source of power that is greater than anything they could ever comprehend. As you step into this truth, you not only reclaim your own purpose, but inspire others to do the same. The systems they've built cannot withstand the light of awakened souls like you. The world is waiting for you to rise, and no force in this universe can stop you. Comment truth if this reality resonates with you. The knowledge they've hidden is being revealed, and it's time for you to claim what has always been yours. We've uncovered why powerful groups track spiritually awakened people and the secret knowledge they hold about chosen ones. But now, it's time to get personal. How do you know if you're being observed? What are the warning signs that you're on their radar? And most importantly, how can you protect yourself from their influence? The answers may surprise you. Don't go anywhere. This is where it gets real. If you're finding this video helpful, consider leaving a super thanks to support this message and ensure it reaches others who need to hear it. The warning signs that you're being observed. Have you ever experienced moments in your life that felt like more than just coincidence? A sequence of events too orchestrated to be random, as if something or someone was paying closer attention to your journey than you realized? Maybe it's the feeling of resistance whenever you try to step into your purpose, or the peculiar obstacles that arise just as you begin to gain momentum. Perhaps it's the overwhelming sense that you're being watched, even when there's no physical evidence to support it. These moments are not figments of your imagination. They are not mere coincidences. They are signs that you are on their radar and that your awakening has caught their attention. One of the clearest signs is the feeling of being targeted. It's that nagging sense that the challenges you face are not random, but intentional. Have you noticed how, whenever you start to align with your purpose, life seems to get more difficult? Relationships that once felt stable suddenly become strained. Career opportunities that seemed promising inexplicably fall apart. Even your physical health might take unexpected hits. These are not accidents. They are part of a larger design meant to distract you, to overwhelm you with survival, so you never reach the higher levels of spiritual clarity and purpose you were destined for. Take a moment to reflect on your life. How many times have you encountered setbacks that felt oddly timed, as if they were triggered by your attempts to grow, change, or step into a new season? This is not paranoia. It's a pattern. The elite, the forces that thrive on keeping people asleep, are acutely aware of chosen ones like you. They know that if you fully step into your calling, their systems of control will begin to unravel. So they create resistance, not necessarily in obvious ways, but through subtle, insidious challenges designed to wear you down. They hope to keep you so preoccupied with the struggles of everyday life that you never have the energy or clarity to embrace your divine potential. These challenges often build over time, creating a sense of heaviness or confusion. They might start small, a minor inconvenience here, a brief misunderstanding there. But as you push forward, as you start to awaken and operate at a higher vibrational frequency, the resistance grows. It can feel as though life itself is working against you, piling obstacles in your path to block your progress. But here's what you need to remember. The fact that they're watching, that they're investing energy in trying to derail you, means they see your potential. They wouldn't waste their efforts on someone who wasn't a threat to their system. The feeling of being watched isn't always physical. In fact, it's often spiritual. Have you ever felt like an invisible force is keeping tabs on your thoughts, your intentions, your energy? This isn't your imagination. It's your spirit sensing the truth. You carry a light that cannot be ignored, and those who operate in darkness are drawn to it, not out of admiration, but out of fear. Your energy, your purpose, and your connection to the divine are like a beacon. They illuminate the lies, exposing the falsehoods that the elite depend on to maintain control. And when they sense this light growing stronger, they try to extinguish it, not because they believe they can succeed, but because they're desperate to slow you down. Another sign that you're being observed is the way your intuition sharpens as you awaken. Your spirit often senses the presence of these energies before your mind does. Have you ever had vivid dreams that seem to carry messages or warnings, or sudden insights that feel like a download of knowledge from beyond yourself? These moments are not random. They are your spirit alerting you to the reality of what's happening around you. Dreams, in particular, can be powerful indicators that you are being monitored. They might reveal symbols of resistance or obstacles, or they might show you glimpses of the forces working against you. Pay attention to these dreams, because they are your spiritual senses at work, guiding you to see beyond the physical realm. Your emotions and physical sensations can also serve as warning signs. Have you ever walked into a room and felt an unexplainable heaviness, as though the energy around you was pressing down on your spirit? Or perhaps you've experienced sudden waves of anxiety or unease for no apparent reason. These are not random occurrences. They are your spirit responding to the energetic environment you're in. The elite often uses fear as a weapon, projecting energy designed to keep you in a state of doubt and confusion. But what they don't realize is that your spirit is stronger than their tactics. The very sensations they use to try to suppress you can become your greatest tools for discernment. This awareness, however, can be both empowering and unsettling. Knowing that you're being observed, that your journey is being tracked, can feel isolating at times. You might wonder why you've been singled out, why the road feels harder for you than for others. But remember this: the challenges you face are not a reflection of your weakness. They are a testament to your strength. The very fact that you are being targeted means you carry something they fear. You have a light, a purpose, that threatens to dismantle the systems they've built. And that is why they watch you so closely. Even in Scripture, we see examples of this pattern. Consider the story of Moses. From the moment he was born, there was a plan to destroy him. Pharaoh, sensing the potential of a deliverer rising among the Hebrew people, ordered the death of every male infant. Moses was just a baby, unaware of his purpose. Yet the forces of power already feared him. Why? Because they recognized the divine hand on his life. They saw what he couldn't yet see, that he was destined to challenge their oppression and lead his people to freedom. This isn't just a story from the past. It's a spiritual truth that echoes into the present. Like Moses, you carry a purpose that threatens the structures of control, and like Pharaoh, the elite fears what will happen when you fully step into that purpose. Comment signs if you've experienced this in your own life. The fact that you're being observed is not a reason to fear. It's a reason to rise. They see your potential, and they know they cannot stop you. You are stronger than their systems, more powerful than their deceptions, and more connected to the divine than they could ever understand. This is your time to step into your purpose, to let your light shine, and to show the world what happens when a chosen one awakens. How to protect yourself from their influence. Spiritual warfare requires spiritual armor, and protecting yourself from the influence of those who seek to suppress your purpose is not just an act of defense. It's an act of reclaiming your divine authority. When you realize you're being observed, tracked, or subtly influenced, the most important thing to remember is that their power is limited. They rely on fear, doubt, and distraction to keep you from stepping into your fullness, but none of these tactics can penetrate the protection that comes from aligning yourself with the Creator. You are not fighting this battle alone, and the tools you need to stand strong are already within you. The first and most vital layer of protection is your connection to the divine. This connection is not something external that you have to reach for. It is already present within you, like a flame that only needs to be fanned into greater strength. Through practices like prayer, meditation, and intentional alignment with your higher purpose, you create a spiritual shield that no external force can penetrate. Prayer is not just an act of speaking to God. It's a moment of surrender, of opening yourself to divine guidance and protection. It is a way of affirming that you are walking in the light and that no darkness can harm you. Meditation, on the other hand, helps you quiet the noise of the world and tune into the still, small voice within. This stillness is where clarity resides, where fear cannot thrive, and where you are reminded of the eternal truth. The elite may watch, but they cannot touch what is protected by the Creator. Throughout Scripture, we see this pattern of divine protection for those who are aligned with their purpose. Consider the story of Elijah on Mount Carmel, surrounded by opposition from the prophets of Baal, outnumbered and seemingly vulnerable. Elijah stood firm in his connection to God, calling down fire from heaven to demonstrate the supremacy of the divine. His confidence wasn't rooted in physical strength or numbers. It was rooted in his alignment with the Creator's will. This story is a reminder that when you stand in your spiritual authority, you are protected by forces far greater than anything this world can throw at you. No matter how closely they watch or how intensely they try to influence you, their power is no match for the shield of divine protection. Another powerful tool in your spiritual armor is the practice of raising your vibration. Everything in the universe operates at a frequency, and the elite knows that fear, doubt, and negativity vibrate at lower levels. These lower frequencies are where they try to keep you because it's where you are most vulnerable to manipulation. When you're consumed by fear or weighed down by negativity, it becomes easier for them to plant seeds of doubt, confusion, and despair. But you were never meant to dwell in those lower frequencies. Your true home is in the higher vibrations of love, gratitude, and divine purpose. Finally, recognize that the ultimate protection comes from within. The elite may try to influence you from the outside, but they cannot reach the core of who you are. Your spirit is eternal, untouchable, and connected to a source of power that is greater than anything they could ever comprehend. This connection is your greatest weapon, your most impenetrable shield. When you tap into it, you become unstoppable. Not because challenges disappear, but because you realize that no challenge can define or defeat you. This is how you protect yourself from their influence. By aligning with the divine, raising your vibration, building a supportive community, and standing firm in your spiritual authority. Their power lies in illusion, but your power is rooted in truth. The more you embrace this truth, the less their tactics will affect you. You are stronger than their systems, more resilient than their distractions, and more connected to the Creator than they could ever imagine. Comment armor if you're ready to take these steps to protect your purpose. You are not alone in this journey, and the forces that stand with you are far greater than those that stand against you. This is your time to rise, to shield yourself with spiritual armor, and to walk boldly into the fullness of your divine calling. The elite may watch, but they cannot stop what has been divinely ordained. You are protected, and you are unstoppable. We've explored the signs that you're being observed and how to protect yourself. But here's the question they don't want you to ask. What happens when you step fully into your power? The answer will change everything. Stay with me, because the final section reveals why they fear you and why they cannot win. What happens when you step fully into your power? When you step fully into your power, the entire trajectory of your life begins to change. It's not that challenges suddenly disappear or that opposition ceases to exist. The storms still come, the resistance still rises, and the systems of control still try to tighten their grip. But none of it affects you the same way anymore. You realize deep within your soul that no challenge can defeat you because the strength you carry is not from this world. It is divine, eternal, and unshakable. This is what the elite fears most. They don't fear your hardships or your struggles. They fear the moment you awaken to the truth that none of those things can hold you back anymore. They fear the day when their illusions no longer have power over you, when their lies crumble under the weight of your truth, and when their control is shattered by your light. To fully understand the magnitude of stepping into your power, imagine yourself as a lighthouse in the midst of a raging storm. The wind howls, the waves crash, and the darkness presses in from every side. But your light remains steady, cutting through the chaos, providing guidance to those who are lost and hope to those who are afraid. You are that lighthouse. When you awaken to your divine purpose, you become a beacon, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Your light doesn't just transform your own life, it illuminates the path for others. This is why they fear you. They know that your awakening creates a ripple effect, a chain reaction of empowerment and truth that cannot be stopped. This is your time, chosen one. The world is waiting for you to rise, to step into the fullness of your power, and to fulfill the purpose for which you were created. The elite fears this moment because they know they cannot stop it. They cannot stop you when you awaken fully. Their illusions lose their hold, and their systems of control begin to crumble. Your light exposes their darkness. Your truth dismantles their lies, and your courage inspires others to do the same. This is the ripple effect of your awakening, and it is unstoppable. Comment power if you are ready to step boldly into your divine purpose. This is your moment, chosen one. The world needs your light, and no force in this universe can dim it. You are unstoppable. You are chosen, and this is only the beginning. Chosen one, you are not alone. The elite may have been watching, but their plans cannot stand against the light of truth. You were born for this moment, and your awakening is part of a greater divine plan. If this message has resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the power you seek has always been within you. Comment, "I am chosen" if you're ready to rise. And don't forget to subscribe for more messages like this. The time is now. The world is waiting for you.